Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to European Higher Education Fair 2025 webinar, or EHEF 2025, Tradition and Innovation in the Heart of Europe Study in Hungary. My name is Hanadia, or Hannah, and I will be your host for today. We're so glad you could join us in this exciting journey where we can explore opportunities to study in Europe as part of European Higher Education Fair 2025. Some housekeeping rules before we start. Please use the Q&A feature or question and answer feature in this webinar to ask for some questions later. And also do not forget to follow EHEF Indonesia social media for the latest update regarding scholarship or other programs relevant to the higher education in Europe. The Instagram account is ehef.id. So now, Sziasztok, or it means hello everyone in Hungarian. Hungary is often called the heart of Europe, and for a good reason. It is a place where East meets West, blending a rich cultural heritage with a modern innovation. And Hungary is a home to a lot of great universities with centuries of academic tradition, top-ranked medical and engineering programs, also the social programs as well, and welcoming international students community, including Indonesia. And of course, who could forget the vibrant student life in cities like Budapest or Pest or even Zagreb, with its very stunning architecture, cafes, and even famous thermal bath. So here's a personal fun fact. I was actually a recipient for the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship back in the days, a couple of years ago, for a master's degree at Corvinus University of Budapest. And it was really a life-changing experience, not only academically enriching, but also personally rewarding. And living and studying in Budapest actually gave me unique perspective and friendship that I still very much cherish until today. So today's webinar will take you through a lot of stuff. First, what makes Hungarian universities actually really great for you, and then opportunities for Indonesian students to study in Hungary, and what are the available scholarship like the Stipendium Hungaricum, like my program, that can make your study abroad dream possible, and of course, tips for living and thriving as a student in Hungary. So it is now our honor to introduce our distinguished speaker, Mr. Attila over here, or Pak Attila. He is the deputy head of mission at the Embassy of Hungary to Indonesia, Timor-Leste, and also ASEAN. So Pak Attila here has a very extensive diplomatic career. He has served in Singapore, Jakarta, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade in Budapest. Pak Attila here also holds master's degree in international relations from first Lodan University in Budapest. I think hopefully I said it right, with his very much long experience promoting Hungary's partnership across Southeast Asia. He will share you valuable insights on education opportunities, student life, and the unique advantage of studying in Hungary. So please welcome Pak Attila. I think the floor is yours, and you may share your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you very much for participating at today's seminar about opportunities for Indonesian students studying in Hungary and who want to choose Hungary as a destination for the studies. I would like to share with you some important facts about Hungary itself, and also about the living costs and all relevant information which is important for future students who decide to study in Hungary. So our first slide is you can see the map of Hungary. So I can tell you that not only in Budapest, but there are some other cities when there are many universities with different programs. So in Hungary, generally, you can choose more than from 600 majors. It's ranging from different studies, from engineering, law, etc. And not only in Budapest, there are some other major cities. As very famous university you can find also in Debrecen, in Pécs, in Szeged, just to tell a few. Maybe the next slide, please. So in a nutshell about Hungary. Hungary is a country in Central Eastern Europe with the capital of Budapest. The Budapest has about 1.6 million inhabitants, and it's a location of many famous universities which are also internationally ranked. Generally, Hungary has a very safe and friendly environment, and this is also supporting the students, like very favorable costs, very affordable housing, in some cases with some scholarships. The universities are also providing the accommodation, for example, for the winners of the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. Hungary's population, Hungary is a relatively small country in Europe with a population is less than 10 million. The official language is Hungarian, which is a very difficult one, and therefore we are not expecting the future students to learn Hungarian when they are completing their studies in Hungary, because actually almost all the programs are in English, or besides, it's also possible to learn in German or other languages. But even we are offering the possibility for those who are interested to learn some basic Hungarian, which some universities are also providing some basic Hungarian courses. Very important about Hungary that Hungary is situated in the middle of Europe, and it's also very easy to travel around. If you want to travel from, let's say, Budapest or some other Hungarian countries to Western Europe, it just going to Austria to Vienna, it just takes 3 hours, or neighboring countries like Slovakia, like Romania, like Serbia or Croatia. It's not very far. You can take not only plane, but you can take a car or bus, or you can go by train. And which is important to mention about Hungary, that also we have a lot of World Heritage sites, very famous museums, the castle in Buda, some very important cathedrals, places of interest, and a lot of architectural places to visit. And besides that, we also have a very rich cultural heritage with a lot of events ranging from classical music to pop music, so to international festivals or DJs and exhibitions, and virtually all kinds of different programs. Next slide, please. So, learning a little bit about Hungary, as I mentioned before, is you can see some pictures about Hungary. And as I mentioned before, not only Budapest is a very well-known destination, but also some other cities. Here in the first picture, you see the Parliament, but also in other places like there is one of the biggest lakes in Central Europe, is the Lake Balaton, which is a very popular tourist destination also. You can also see many churches and cathedrals, but for Indonesian students is you don't have to afraid, because basically halal food is also available for those who are Muslims, and also the universities are providing also places for worshipping. So it's everything is because we have also many students from countries like Northern Africa and other African countries, or the Middle East, and there are also a lot of Muslim students, and therefore I think all the facilities are provided by the universities. And generally in Hungary, you can find everything, including halal food. Next slide, please. So a general education system in Hungary usually the semester, the academic year starts in September, and it goes until June with the exams. And there are 2 semesters, the so-called autumn semester from September to December, and the spring semester from February to June. There are different programs available for students. I would like now to talk about the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, which is has a quota for Indonesian students. Annually, every year, there is a quota with a maximum place of 110 students from Indonesia, and you can apply starting from November. So this year also from November, online you can apply for this scholarship, which is very many facilities, providing a lot of facilities for Indonesian students, like free tuition, like in some cases the universities are providing free accommodation, or you are getting allowance for accommodation. You are also getting some pocket money for the everyday living costs. You have also getting the health card, based on which you will be entitled to be part of the Hungarian healthcare system. And so it's a very favorable conditions this Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship is offering. You just have to take care of the travel cost, to buy the airplane ticket. Even the visa costs are free of charge for Stipendium Hungaricum, the awardees of Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. We here at the Hungarian Embassy in Jakarta, we are very quickly and efficiently are issuing the visas for the applicants who won this scholarship. And as I mentioned, it's free of charge. So no, we are not charging anything for the visa. And in the scheme of the Hungarian, this Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, mostly there are places for PhD students, because from these 110 places, about 70% are reserved for PhD students. In a lot of, majoring in many levels, like and many kind of studies, like engineering, like doctoral studies, but also like social studies and so on. And about 70% for PhD, about 20% for master studies, and a few places are also reserved for bachelor studies at the Hungarian Stipendium Hungaricum program. You can also see in this slide the Hungarian system which is very similar to the Indonesian one, the time for the doctoral course, the master, and the bachelor degree. And there are also, as I mentioned before, for the Stipendium Hungaricum program, there are more than 600 study programs available, and those are in English, so you don't have to be afraid we are not forcing you to study Hungarian language, which is very difficult, but of course, for those who are interested, you can, and hope, I mean that for sure, if you are studying in Hungary, you will at least will be able to learn some basic Hungarian conversation and some basic words. Next slide, please. So why to choose Hungary for studies? Besides that, there are so many programs to choose from. The language of for international students, everything is taught in English, and into the system there are including engineering, there are also business studies, social studies, as I mentioned before. So because there are 600 different directions, I think that everyone can find according to his or her interest, the major which can choose. And most importantly, the degrees acquired in Hungary are recognized in the European Union. It means that after graduation, the students will have the opportunity to work in the European Union if they are if they are very good and really professional in their field. So, and even in Hungary, during the studies, is possible to get some internships for Hungarian and also for international companies, multinational companies located in Hungary. And in some cases is also possible to students are actually allowed also to do some work besides their studies, and this also can help to ease the costs of living and the everyday costs of living in Hungary. In generally, as I mentioned before, the Hungarian education system is really high quality. We are offering some famous universities and also some majors which are internationally acknowledged. The tuition, even if somebody is choosing studies in Hungary, not with the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, but paying the tuition, the costs are much lower than studying, for example, in the United States or Australia, or even in Western Europe, like Germany or France, etc. The environment is very safe. We have no conflicts in Hungary. It's a very peaceful country, and the cities are very safe. As I mentioned before, traveling is very easy from Hungary. You can virtually visiting all places in Europe from Hungary very easily by car or by train or by plane or by bus. Also, in Hungary also we have thousands of international students, so you can meet and make friends. We have students from Western Europe, from the United States. We have a lot of students also from Muslim countries, from the Middle East, also from Africa. We have some from Latin America. Therefore, the student life is very vibrant, and you can get a lot of cultural experience during your studies. The research facilities and the facilities at the university and the dormitories are modern and very cozy for the students, also from the students from Indonesia. Next slide, please. So, meeting the universities, there are a lot of programs in English. As I mentioned before, not only in Budapest, there are some well-known universities also in other Hungarian cities, like in Debrecen, Szeged, Pécs. You can choose from more than 60 universities for studying Hungary, and all these universities are also included into the Stipendium Hungaricum program. As I mentioned before, all the programs are in English. In some cases, if you are interested, you can study also in other languages, also in Hungarian. I have also met some students who have chosen Hungarian, but Hungarian is a very, very difficult language. And as I mentioned also, we have a lot of international students in Hungary, is about 40,000 or even more today. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned before, the Hungarian students are actually very active in Hungary and also in Indonesia. We have the Perhimpunan Mahasiswa Indonesia in Hungaria with many events. They are doing, and they are actually very active. They are very active, I think, especially active in the Instagram. You can find the Perhimpunan Mahasiswa Indonesia, the PMI. But here in Jakarta, we are also, every year we are organizing a get-together for Indonesian alumni who were participating in studies in Hungary, mostly in the Stipendium Hungarian program. And for this year, we will have our event in October the 4th. And so you are also welcome. If you are an alumni or interested, you are welcome to come to our gathering. We are expecting more than 60 or even more alumni who studied in Hungary before to our event on the 4th of October. Next slide, please. So talking about the students' experience, actually there is a whole system of people who are helping every university. There are some international coordinators, and they are very well prepared to receive Indonesian students and other students. There is a very active student organization in each universities. Also, it's possible to, as I mentioned, to learn the Hungarian language, which is of course optional, but universities are offering this possibility. And maybe for the everyday life is a kind of useful, because not everybody can speak fluent English in Hungary, especially the older generation. So that's why some basic Hungarian might be helpful. And the university is mostly offering also some extracurricular activities like sports, like travel, and so on. As I mentioned before, there is a very active and strong Indonesian student community in Hungary. So they are very active, I think, in Facebook, but especially in Instagram. And the alumni community is also active. And some of our alumni who studied in Hungary before, they are even working with the government. Also, before we had a former student working at the presidential office. So I think that Indonesians studied in Hungary, you can find almost everywhere also in Indonesia, I mean, former students. Next slide, please. Last but not least, it's very important to talk about the costs of living in Hungary. You can see the major figures here. So basically, enough to spend 500 to 900 euro per month. Hungary, as I mentioned, is much cheaper than Western Europe, and you can find for Muslim students also can find it's possible to find halal food and all ingredients for those who want to cook by themselves. The tuition fees you can find here. If you decided to study on your own, not taking any scholarship or the Stipendium Hungaricum program, is still quite favorable conditions you can find. As I mentioned, it can be like 50% cheaper than studying in the US or Western Europe, and therefore it's quite a budget-friendly option for students, but the degrees are also accepted in the European Union. So there is a possibility that after your studies, if you decide or you previously already had some internship with some Hungarian companies, we have an example, like not even one example, but I know some students who stayed in Hungary also. They were first taking part in some internship programs, but then the Hungarian or multinational companies employed them in Hungary. So they stayed in Hungary for work as well. Thank you. Next slide, please. So I already told you a lot about the Hungarian Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship program, but I just want to repeat the basic facts about it, that Hungary is offering virtually to every ASEAN country scholarship. The quota for Indonesia is a maximum of 110 places per academic year. And the program, you can apply for this program online. The application period starts from November, and in January you can find the results. And in November this year, the application process is starting for the next academic year, which means for the academic year of 2026-2027. And this program is based on in a bilateral agreement between Indonesia and Hungary, and therefore it's the Hungarian state has a guarantee for this program, so therefore it's a very safe option for students. Next slide, please. So basically the Stipendium Hungaricum partner countries, you can see here in the ASEAN region, so virtually almost all the countries, I think, except of Brunei, but with Brunei is also in progress, the Stipendium Hungaricum program, so you can meet with your fellow students from ASEAN countries in Hungary, this means. Thank you. Next slide, please. So benefits of the Stipendium Hungaricum program. It's, as I mentioned before, it's a tuition-free education. The accommodation is also provided by the Hungarian state. I mean, in some universities have the dormitory, so it's free of charge. In case the university doesn't have enough facility like dormitory, you can get a monthly allowance for finding your own accommodation, renting an apartment or renting a room. And you are also getting a monthly paid stipend according to this scholarship program, and medical insurance is also provided, means that free health care in Hungary for the students. In the below part of the slide, you can see the exact process, the proceeding for the Hungarian Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. As I mentioned, the deadline is for submitting the application is in January. Then the successful applicants are chosen also by the Hungarian side, but also decided by the Ministry of Higher Education, and who is making the shortlist. And then in the end of the process, there are the winners published, and you can apply. You can come to our embassy for the visa, which we are providing free of charge. And of course, this is for an example of 2024, but for 2026, 2027 is the same procedure. Thank you. Next slide, please. So basically, that was my presentation. You can here find all the relevant information about how to apply. You can apply online for the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. With the website is stipendiumhungaricum.hu, and also at the Facebook, or you can write email if you have questions. And so terima kasih untuk presentasi saya, dan thank you for your attention. Then I'm ready to also answer after my presentation the questions. Bisa menjawab dalam bahasa Indonesia juga. Karena itu tidak usah malu-malu, kalau ada pertanyaan silakan menanyakan, saya bisa menjawab semua dalam bahasa Indonesia. Jangan ragu untuk menanyakan. Terima kasih. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Kosanam, Pak Attila, for that very inspiring presentation. Dan ya teman-teman, Pak Attila bisa berbahasa Indonesia juga. Jadi kita bisa gado-gado style gitu ya, atau kita bisa mix pakai bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris. Jadi jangan malu-malu, langsung saja ke Q&A part yang ada di webinar ini to ask more questions begitu. Sekarang mungkin, so let's start with the questions that we already received, Pak Attila. The first one is from Luke. So Luke here is asking, what is the strongest STEM subject, or which science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or STEM program that is best offered in top university across Hungary?
Mm-hmm. So for actually engineering and sciences, the mechanical engineering is very good, the electrical engineering, the IT is also quite famous. Besides engineering, there is also the doctoral studies are very famous with a lot of international students, but also economics at the Corvinus University or host
Yes.
graduated from is also quite internationally ranked. And so in a nutshell, basically those. But in social studies, there are also some majors which are very well accepted also and international.
Okay. Thank you, Pa. I think that answered Luke's question. And the second one is from Abelia Ferita. She's asking, are there any summer or winter student exchanges during using scholarships in Hungary for undergraduate students studying in Indonesia? So more like student exchange or some sort.
For student exchange, we had for undergraduate students, we have before the EHEF program.
Yeah.
But no, unfortunately, it has stopped. So this year, no more because of the changes in the Indonesian government's priorities. But maybe we hope that in some other form or somehow in the future, there will be also this EHEF program, this international Indonesian international mobility student award, or it was the abbreviation of like that. But also for students, in some cases, the universities has their own program for exchange students for maybe just for one semester. So it's going on under university to university cooperation. Even for high school students, in some cases, there are also some exchange programs, but this goes also directly between the high schools. I mean, the Hungarian high schools with the Indonesian high schools. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that answers Abelia's question. But the next one, the third question, is from Hani. She's asking, is there any master degree that's available in Hungary related to translation? So translation program. What are the conditions for applicants to apply for it?
Mm-hmm. So I think you have to look for, try to look for, if you want to participate in the Stipendium Hungaricum program, because there are 600 different majors. So I think there are also language studies, even Hungarian language studies, but also some other like English language studies and literature, and there is German, I think, and other languages. And in some cases also there is specialized in translation also. There are part of this language studies. I don't know specifically, but you can find on online, I think. Okay. And there also the Stipendium Hungaricum program, and also if you go to the university's website, you can also find programs like this. I mean, regarding to the translation and language studies and literature and so on.
So it is available, and you might have, Hani here might have to look at all the 600 available programs that's probably relevant, that some of them are actually, in language studies. And then the next question, Pa, is from Karsiah Aspar. Karsiah here is 49 years old, and she's asking if it's possible to get scholarship for master degree, regardless her age. 49 years old.
Oh, I'm not sure. You have to please join the. Look for the Stipendium Hungaricum.hu website, and you can find the exact condition. Because, frankly speaking, I never got this kind of question. Maybe I don't know whether there is an age limit or not, but maybe in some cases, maybe outside the Stipendium Hungaricum, surely you can find some university program for even 45, 49 or 50 plus aged students. I think it's not an obstacle basically, but specifically in the Stipendium Hungaricum program, maybe not.
Okay, so Garcia over here might have to look at the Stipendium Hungaricum.hu to see the the condition also requirements over there, including perhaps also age-related requirement. And then the next one is Alivia Novi Erlidani. She's asking of what she should need to prepare to be able to participate in the program. Approximately how much money does she need to prepare, and are there scholarship available? Is studying in Hungary more beneficial for studying science or social studies? That's a lot of bundle of questions, but yeah.
Actually, there are many programs in the field of social studies in Hungary. So if you are participating and you are lucky, you win the scholarship with the Hungarian Stipendium Hungaricum program, you don't actually need to prepare financially a lot of money, because basically everything is covered except of the travel expenses. So you have just to prepare for the airline ticket. Yes. From Jakarta to Budapest, and also maybe some, depending on which university you won the scholarship, because in some cases, in some universities, they are providing dormitory for free, but not every university is providing. But this program also provides some, some tuition fee for the accommodation, but in this case you have to find your own accommodation, and actually the tuition is not enough for to pay for the entire apartment or room you want to rent. It depends also, of course, your what kind of
preference
you want to rent and prefers, or if in downtown is more expensive, it's a little bit outside, is less expensive. But basically, in this case, if a dormitory is not provided, so you have to get ready with some additional money.
Yeah.
And also, of course, always it's depending on your lifestyle, that how do you want to live, because the tuition free for the everyday cost, the Stipendium Hungaricum is providing, but it's just enough for your studies in some basic everyday living expenses. If you want to travel a lot, if you want to go to concerts, if you want to go out frequently, and I don't know, have a very big social life. So of course you have to prepare by yourself some additional costs.
Correct. And I have to mention a little bit, but I remember back in the day, for before, actually part of the application itself, we sort of had to prepare for the translation for the documents that, of course, we have to pay on our own, right? And I believe in Indonesia, you sort of have to get it stamped and apostilled, and that also required some kind of like time arrangement, also maybe financial arrangement in that sense, as well as if the universities require you for English, maybe a language certification, then you also have to prepare for that. I think Alivia Novi here asked more on the, a lot of like preparation costs as well. So those are the things that I remember that I prepared there.
So at the Stipendium Hungaricum.hu website, it's exactly, you can find all the preconditions. It's very logically and very systematically is mentioned there, and based on this you can prepare or calculate your costs. Of course, there might be some costs for translation, for the apostille, and for other stamps the students have to cover by by themselves when applying. It's an online application system. You can upload everything on this page. You are just opening your own, making your own application page, and through this application page, personalized application page, you are attaching just all the documents required. Yes, that's
it. I think that covers the question. And now another question is from Rahmadani Amalia. She's asking if she can apply a stipendium program for class enrollment in February or June semester. I think the timeline, you already mentioned it earlier.
Yes, I mentioned the timeline because it's a full degree program. It's for PhD, some master, and bachelor. So basically the Stipendium Hungaricum program is announced in November, mid-November. And so you can start your application online and preparing all the documents in starting from mid-November. And then if you are awarded with the scholarship, the program is it's a full degree program, so it's starting in September each year. So by the beginning of September, or even by end of August, you are supposed to arrive already in Hungary and getting ready for accommodation and the school, making the enrollment, and contact the host university.
Okay, and then the next question, Pak, is from Yayasan Al-Kautsar. This, I think he plans to study with his wife, and he's aiming for Stipendium scholarships, Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship. She's also bringing a child with him. And what he would like to ask is, what is the estimated cost of living in Budapest, perhaps, as a family unit? And what about the children's education? Because several other European countries offer free education for children.
So actually, no, with the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship, I think it's not possible anymore to bring the family, at least in the beginning. So you can only travel by yourself. At the later stage, maybe it's possible for like family reunion, and before, a lot of students brought wife and children, and for children, according to the Hungarian system, the preschool is free of charge, also the kindergarten for children. And also the basic school is also, but based on availability in government sponsored, in government schools. Of course, if there is no available space,
so
no quota, and you are going to the private preschool or private school, you have to pay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, anyone who get the Stipendium Hungaricum has to go on their own first, and then later, maybe for family reunion, right? Visa, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then later, if it's about the children education, as Pak Attila mentioned it, if it's based on quota only, so if it's a public school, then and it's available.
So previously it was possible, especially it was a question for PhD students, because previously it was possible to immediately travel with the family. Most of the PhD students from Indonesia were immediately given the family reunion visa also for the family and children, but starting from last year is not possible anymore. So only the student can go first to travel first. Yes. Thank you.
Got it. So next part, we have Omar over here, and Omar is asking, hi, are there scholarship in Hungary for, another question about exchange program. I think we might refer it to the previous answer that usually it's university to university for exchange program, or perhaps high school to high school kind of program.
Yes. Actually, there are a lot of Hungarian universities are very active in Indonesia. They have already signed MOUs, especially like BINUS, like University of Indonesia, like in Yogyakarta, the UGM, and some other universities also. And they have the including into this MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, the bilateral between the two universities, is also students exchange and teachers, professors exchanges in some cases is also part of this program. So based on this, they can also provide exchange programs, or of course, it's also possible to do with the tuition fee, the payable programs is also possible to study in Hungary, not only with paid programs like Stipendium Hungaricum.
Okay, got it, Pak. The next one is from Jess. Jess here is asking, other than Stipendium Hungaricum, does Hungary offer other scholarship program? Jess over here was rejected for her Stipendium Hungaricum application in 2023. And is there any cooling down period before she could apply again?
Actually, there is no cooling down period. If somebody is rejected, so immediately can apply for the next academic year. So there is no cooling period or restriction. So I just suggest to everybody that don't be disappointed. Just try for the next academic year.
Yes. So just apply for the upcoming period.
Yes, just
for registration.
try and apply. Yes.
Yes. And then the next one is going to be in Bahasa Indonesia, Pak Attila. So tutor Satrio, Satrio bertanya, apakah ada kewajiban pulang ke Indonesia atau bisa bekerja di Hungaria atau ya.
Saya juga sudah pernah kayaknya sebutkan itu bahwa tidak ada kewajiban untuk pulang ke Indonesia karena selama belajar di Hungaria dan di universitas banyak mahasiswa sudah magang, ikut program internship, dan kalau cocok atau sesuai dengan perusahaan tertentu, terutama karena di Hungaria sekarang ada kekurangan tenaga kerja yang besar sekali, dan terutama di bidang-bidang seperti IT, Information Technology, Engineering, Doctoral Studies, dan lain-lain itu langsung bisa bekerja untuk perusahaan. Dan sudah banyak contoh yang begitu, yang orang jadi magang dan habis graduation, habis selesai, dan sudah lulus, dia langsung tinggal dan bekerja di Hungaria. Dan secara teoretis itu karena ijazahnya juga diakui di Uni Eropa, kan tidak tertutup kemungkinan bahwa dia bisa apply untuk masuk ke perusahaan-perusahaan di Uni Eropa kalau ada perusahaan yang terima, karena biasanya yang lulusan yang berbakat atau sangat ahli di bidangnya itu mempunyai kemungkinan besar sekali untuk diterima.
Berarti bisa tinggal di Uni Eropa, di Hungaria, begitu ya Pak? Tidak ada kewajiban.
Ya, tergantung dari orangnya, tergantung keahliannya. Kalau dia memang ahli dan mungkin terutama kalau dia sudah pernah ikut internship program untuk mungkin perusahaan yang sama, dia akan menggunakan dia dan membuat kontrak kerja setelah itu.
Oke. Berarti untuk Satrio tidak ada kewajiban pulang ke Indonesia.
Tidak ada kewajiban.
Selanjutnya
mungkin
dari
secara berlakunya izin tinggal, kalau masa berlakunya izin tinggal ya ada kewajiban dia harus pulang ke Indonesia. Tapi kalau setelah dia lulus atau masih sebelumnya, dia bisa mengurus untuk pekerjaannya, nanti izin tinggalnya yang untuk studi mungkin akan bisa di-convert menjadi izin kerja.
Berarti ada perubahan atau penyesuaian izin tinggal.
Iya, penyesuaian. Secara peraturan ya, kalau izin tinggalnya sebagai mahasiswa selesai di Hungaria ya wajib pulang ke Indonesia, tidak boleh overstay. Tapi kalau sudah dapat pekerjaan dari perusahaan tertentu ya nanti perusahaan yang ngurus visanya untuk izin tinggalnya, bisa tinggal mendapat izin tinggal untuk bekerja. Ya, jawabannya seperti itu.
Oke, Pak. Got it. I think cukup menjelaskan ya Satrio ya. Selanjutnya Pak dari Jessica. Jessica bertanya, Maria Jessica bertanya, untuk beasiswa Hungaria atau Stipendium Hungaricum, apakah bisa digunakan untuk apply ke beberapa kampus dalam waktu yang bersamaan? Jadi sepertinya ketika mendaftar stipendium, apakah bisa beberapa
Ya, boleh
universitas?
itu bisa menentukan beberapa tempat, bukan hanya hanya satu tempat. Mungkin Bu Hanadia juga berpengalaman karena dia
Ya,
pernah apply kan, boleh kan beberapa
ya.
tempat menentukan.
Betul, betul, betul. Jadi bisa ketika mendaftar ke Stipendium Hungaricum.hu itu bisa langsung memilih gitu ya. Jadi kita mengisi formulir yang ada di situ, mengisi data-data kita yang ada di situ, kemudian nanti juga memberikan pilihan universitas mana dan program apa yang kita tuju.
Ya.
Seperti itu, Jessica.
Mungkin pilih dulu yang paling diminati, yang nomor 1, terus
Ya,
nomor
betul.
2, nomor 3 ya, begitu.
Yes. Jadi bisa ada beberapa opsi untuk memang memilih beberapa universitas dan beberapa program. Seperti itu, Jessica. Harusnya menjelaskan. Oke.
Dan satu
Karena
hal lagi
ya,
saya ingin menambahkan bahwa jangan hanya memilih universitas yang ada di Budapest karena
yes.
living cost-nya biasanya terbesar di ibu kota di Budapest dan kemungkinannya paling kecil juga untuk mendapat free dormitory.
Iya, betul, betul,
Dan
betul.
ongkos untuk sewa apartemen di Budapest juga sudah lumayan
Cukup
tinggi.
mahal. Iya.
Tapi kalau tinggal di universitas yang di luar Budapest, universitas di kota yang lain itu living cost-nya bisa hanya separuhnya daripada Budapest dan untuk sewa apartemen juga lebih murah dan everyday living cost-nya also jauh lebih murah. Jadi saya juga dan juga padahal universitasnya juga bagus sekali yang bukan di Budapest.
Betul.
Kalau ada orang yang mau potong budgetnya yang tidak mau spend a lot, jadi harus mempertimbangkan juga universitas yang di luar Budapest.
Iya.
Terima kasih.
Betul, betul sekali. Jadi terutama untuk beberapa program yang bisa dieksplor di luar Budapest, kita sarankan juga gitu ya teman-teman untuk melihat begitu. Di situ ada banyak sekali opportunity, ada banyak program yang mungkin sesuai dengan minat dan juga latar belakang studi teman-teman gitu. Jadi don't forget to explore gitu, kayak the more teman-teman bisa explore gitu kan, the higher opportunities yang mungkin teman-teman juga bisa tap di situ gitu. Kita lanjut ya Pak ya.
Yeah.
And then we have Alisa Amalia over here. She's planning to pursue a master's degree in chemistry. Are there any internship opportunities available for international students? Does the university provide recommendations or support for students to work in companies, for example, through partnership or career services?
Yes, there are actually some very well-known universities also in Budapest in chemical engineering or chemistry or biochemistry. There is also a famous university in Debrecen. There is also I think in Page, and so you can browse from these from the available spaces in chemistry. And of course, these universities are actually all of them are in partnership with some companies, so they can offer you help in connecting you with some specific companies, not only for Hungarian companies, but also they can connect you with, there are so many German or multinational companies or other companies from Western Europe in Hungary in the field of chemistry. So many.
Chemistry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think Elisa, just for your information as well, usually they have a career expo as well, Pak Attila, just like in Indonesia,
Yes.
in Jakarta, and you can also visit the career expo to connect with possible opportunities from companies or from industries that you can engage with during the expo. So the opportunities are actually quite big. And then also, obviously, as Pak Attila mentioned earlier, that the Indonesian community is also getting larger. You can actually connect with some Indonesians who live in Hungary, or maybe we used to study in Hungary and now live in European Union countries, so that you can actually seek for more tips and tricks as well to get the opportunity for internship or work in European Union countries. So next we have Tristan Falcone. Tristan over here asks, how does Hungary support international students in assessing research facilities, innovation hubs, or partnership with industry during their studies? So I think it's quite similar to the previous question.
Yes, it's so the answer is also similar, that in many cases, yes, the universities has connection, and as Bu Hanadia mentioned, there are also like career expos, like all kind of events, or you can use the Indonesian community, which is already very growing and already quite big in Hungary, and they are very active. The Perhimpunan Mahasiswa Indonesia, they have Instagram, I think, and they are active, and I think that they will help you in this regard. Thank you.
Yes. And then the next one is actually an interesting question, Pak, from Elizabeth Damaris Finkro. Well, somehow the name is different, but basically Bintang Azhar from the Institute Seni Indonesia Yogyakarta, or the Art Institute of Yogyakarta. She would like to ask, how can studying in Hungary with its unique blend of Eastern tradition and Western Europe academic standards shape the future global mindset of international students and empower them to become bridges between culture? I think it's more on the cultural background and nuance.
So actually, Hungarian culture is not very far from it's like European standard, so it's very close to like in Western Europe, and Hungary has a very rich cultural heritage, the very long history. The Hungarian state was just founded in 1000. It was a kingdom, and the first king was asking the crown, the mahkota, from the Pope, from Vatican, and so a very rich cultural and very long history. So I'm sure you can find your liking in Hungary if you are interested to study in social studies.
Yeah, social and art studies as well.
Or arts.
Yeah, and the next question, Pa, is from Andini Triwijayanti. She asked if Hungary have universities that offer medical education as one of their programs. If so, which universities are the best suited for someone aspiring to become a doctor, and do their programs prioritize problem-based learning or strong relationships between faculty and students? And does medical student training in Hungary involve internship or co-assistant in medical field?
So there are some very good universities in the field of medicine and medical studies, which is internationally also ranked, and there are also a lot of international students, even from Western Europe, from in the Semmelweis University in Budapest is very famous in the field of medicine, and they have also a lot of international students, even from Western Europe and from Scandinavian countries, for example, in surgery, in dentistry, in plastic surgeries, but also not only in Budapest, but for example, Debrecen is also in the Debrecen University, and then in Pécs also there is a doctoral studies in the Pécs University. So you have to please do your homework, just try to open the web and read some opinions, and you can see by yourself that maybe which one is the most suitable for you, depending on which medicine, which doctoral studies. Is it like general doctoral studies, like surgery, like plastic surgery, or dentistry? Dentistry is also very famous in Hungary. There are some universities offering studies in dentistry, and most of the universities are also, yes, they are doing for students the internship programs, and of course they are visiting hospitals and doing some studies, and practical practice, of course, is part of the doctoral program. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting because, as you know, I used to live in Europe as well for a while, and we could actually see how in Hungary the medical industry is growing as well. So a lot of people from other part of Europe, have actually visited Hungary for related to the medical kind of approach that they would like to have, especially with the procedures, as Pa Attila mentioned. And then the next one is from the Grace. I think this is our last question. what is the challenging things that we as international students would experience in Hungary? I would also to know if there is linguistic forensic available for master degree.
So challenging, maybe with a little bit of course, it's a different culture from Indonesia, but Hungarian people generally is very warm. They are very, very good-hearted. They are approachable. Maybe there is a language barrier, might be a obstacle a little bit because the older generation of Hungarians, sometimes they don't speak English, or their English is quite limited, but the younger generation is getting more and more fluent in English. And of course, for Muslim students, it's possible to find halal food, but of course they have to look for and what kind of food they are eating, because there might be a little bit challenging, but it's possible to find halal food. And also is possible to, and actually universities is also providing places of worship for Muslim students. But generally the universities are also very helpful and ready to answer all the needs of Indonesian students, I'm sure.
Yes, I agree.
And linguistically, it's, as I mentioned before, it's possible to do some basic Hungarian courses, which are maybe just a few dozens or maybe just 100 words to learn in Hungarian, and one can go to the pasar or go to the market, just learn the numbers and some basic greetings. So it's very useful for the everyday life. Yes.
Yes, I agree. I think if there's one thing that I have to mention as well, Pak Attila, since we're over here are based in tropical countries, if we're not used to the cold, usually during the winter time, it might get a little bit tough, but I think it's very pretty.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention, yes,
yeah.
because though no, with the global climate change, the winters are less and less severe in Hungary.
Yes.
So sometimes we have the winters even without snow. Maybe just a few days of snow, but not in the cities, maybe just in the mountainous places of Hungary. But yes, but there can be cold, there can be minus, so you have to buy some warm clothes, jackets, some warm gloves, some boots, and getting ready for the cold weather. Can last for a few months, so it's sometimes a little bit challenging. With snow, with a lot of rain, with wind, but at least it's a new experience for Indonesian students.
Correct. And I always tell
you can learn skiing also.
correct. And I always tell the students, Indonesian students who are going to come to Hungary to experience the thermal baths, because the thermal bath exists all over Hungary, and I think it's a really amazing experience as well, especially in winter time, to keep your body warm during the cold weather.
That's true. It's very good. You reminded me that there are a lot of Turkish baths, and because Hungary was occupied by the Turkish Empire in the 17th century and the 16th century, and there is a lot of heritage, not only cultural heritage, but they were building a lot of baths. And Hungary is also, there are a lot of thermal spas, there are a lot of thermal water, and there are so many spas with thermal water. So it's very recommendable to, and it's quite affordable to go to spas in Budapest or in other countries, especially in winter time. It's very good to soak in the hot water, thermal water. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Pak Attila. I think it was really an incredible session. Thank you for presenting earlier, as well as sharing with us with your insights, especially studying in Hungary, and how the students or the attendants who actually attend the webinar today can actually learn and also apply later when they apply for the Stipendium Hungaricum application. So we've seen that Hungary is not only rich in history and culture, but also offers a range of world-class education system, guys. It's also innovative opportunities to work and to live as well, and also definitely welcoming student environment. So do not forget to register for European higher education. EHEF 2025, where you'll meet representatives from even more Hungarian. I think there will be booths as well, Pak, right?
Yeah, there will be a booth. Yeah, we will participate also in Yogyakarta and also in Jakarta in November. Yes.
Yes. Jadi nanti di tanggal 6 November,
Yeah.
6 November atau 6 November di Yogyakarta, dan 8 hingga 9 November di Jakarta. Di situ juga akan ada booth dari Hungary juga untuk menjelaskan ke teman-teman, misalnya teman-teman ada pertanyaan lebih lanjut yang ingin dieksplor lagi, bisa sekali di booth ketika EHEF in person atau secara langsung begitu. Jadi, I think that ends our today's session. Thank you so much everyone for joining today's session, and see you at the next EHEF webinar. And tomorrow we will also have EHEF live Instagram on our Instagram account on Uni Eropa. So don't forget to follow uni_Eropa, ehef.id, and Erasmus Plus.id as well as Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship program on Facebook as well. So I think that summed up everything. And then also I received information that the EHEF website is still under development, and the registration will be open at the end of the month. So the end of September, it will be open, so you guys can register for your presence in November, 6 November, Yogyakarta, 8 until 9 November, Jakarta. Do not forget. Anyway, thank you so much, Pak Kosunam Seven, for today's session, Pak Attila. Thank you very much. And everyone, stay tuned more. See you soon at our EHEF in person, as well as the webinars and live Instagram. Thank you, and see you later.
See you later.